exploring the connection between music and civil rights. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me this hour is Wynne Alexander, author, civil rights activist, historian, and composer. Thanks so much for being with us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
We're talking about Get It From the Drums, and you really do explore the connection between music and civil rights, which is something that we think of today, but you say that wasn't always the case.
A lot of the details of the civil rights movement were getting lost. In the last year or so, there have been a number of documentaries, thankfully, that finally came out trying to paint those days. They showed some details, but there is a great deal of details. And my book actually starts in 1939, because I think to really understand the civil rights movement, we have to look to Marian Anderson, who, for me, put the movement in the movement. When she stood up there in 1939, and in the face of the bigotry of the DAR, knowing that Eleanor Roosevelt quit that organization because they wouldn't let Marian Anderson sing in Constitution Hall, and when Marian Anderson, a woman of color, whose voice was already hailed all over Europe as the greatest of her time, when she stood in front of that Lincoln Memorial and sang, "My country 'tis of thee," that was a protest song. And she did brilliantly, a performance that still gives chills. When you look over that sea of black faces on that plaza, that was probably the largest gathering of African American people, citizens in the history of our country, that is the line in the sand.
So you start there and then you expand. Talk to us about how your book incorporates music and how you've worked with some incredible artists, the who's who, really, of civil rights protest songs, and incorporated them into this book.
I had a meeting with Dr. Dennis Creedon of the Philadelphia School District for Creative and Performing Arts, and he is a visionary. He's a very special guy. The district is very lucky to have people with that kind of vision. And he said, I want you to do a book on civil rights protest and protest music. This was at the height of some things that were going on in our country that had some people concerned. And he kept saying, with your civil rights record, with yours, I thought he was talking about my father. But finally, on the third meeting, he sort of repositioned my own resume, and he said, you write this book. And so that's what I did. But it came with an extra added burden, so to speak, or assignment. I was originally assigned to get 10 legendary superstars. I eventually got us 18. The CD that accompanies the book has 15 songs, the likes of which are Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, James Brown, Nina Simone, Marvin Gaye. The Marvin Gaye estate gave me the full rights to What's Going On. We also have Creedence Clearwater Revival, Chambers Brothers. Buffy Sainte-Marie was an extraordinary help. She's interviewed in the book as well. She is a phenomenal international civil rights leader at this point, but in addition, as you know, she's also won a Grammy and an Oscar. She has written some of the finest songs in American music history, but she also wrote Universal Soldier and Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. And so in the case of Buffy, I asked, she volunteered, I got the music. Other circumstances, I begged, I cajoled, I pleaded, and I got those songs for the project. And
some amazing music that we can hear on the CD that actually accompanies the book. The book is Get It From the Drums, and we just have a short time left, but at this point, dozens and dozens of Philadelphia schools are utilizing this as a teaching tool, and you're looking to expand its reach even further.
Yes, I have expanded the actual text. One of the interviews is with Mrs. Thurgood Marshall, who paints a very interesting picture of course, Thurgood Marshall is one of the three acknowledged greatest civil rights leaders of the latter era. But the portrait that she paints as the wife, the mother of the children, and how you manage death threats and etc., it's extraordinary.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for being with us.
Pleasure.
We've been talking with Wynne Alexander, the author of Get It From the Drums. I'm Jill Horner.